Hi, Brad Ward from Ward's Auctions. It is fall time. Coming up in the last Antiques Estate sale of 2016, and then after that is the firearms auction, the last one for 2016, in conjunction with the Bud Haynes group out of Red Deer, and that sale will happen here in Edmonton as well. Both sales will happen in our building, 11802 145th Street in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And the sale that we're talking about right now, that we're about to preview, is on, and I'm going to look at my notes, Sunday the 27th, November 27th from 11 a.m. and Monday the 28th of November from 6 p.m. and you can preview from on Friday the 25th of November from 4 until 8. Those are in 2016. The firearm sale is on our website as well, and that happens in December 10th and 11th, and that's it for the year. And that's at wardsauctions.com. This sale right now, just a plethora of items, everything from, of course, jewelry that we're going to get to later on, to a terrific selection of Moorcroft, to et cetera, et cetera. Starting with, and not limited to, this great looking quarter cut oak sewing machine cabinet. And, you know, just, you don't see this type every day. So just to start with, there's a terrific looking piece if you're a sewing machine collector, and there are still sewing machine collectors around. There's blocks including Cuckoo. There's vintagey pieces. This is actually brand spanking new. There's a price tag in it. I think we put it on the catalog of $2,300. It looks like it's a dresser, but it's actually a desk. That's a desk part. This is like a component cupboard. This front opens up and put component in there. Very interesting piece, and the bottom drawers are actually filing drawers. This is a two-piece, gorgeous Belgian probably, or French, chest-on-chest cabinet. It's got the original green, I think it's the original green inside. It is quarter-cut oak all over. It is a chest-on-chest, so it's easier to move than it looks. Terrific, terrific pieces. Primitives, cabbage cutters and bowls. There's framed memorabilia items. These lamps, I think, are 5 feet high. Put them on the ground. You should see the house that they came out of. We got quite a few pieces out of that home, and it's interesting to say the least. You're going to see a few pieces, and we're going to focus on another one in particular. These are originals, Alex Halliburton originals. Those are not prints, those are originals. But I'm going to focus in on a sports one as we get closer to it. This is made to look old. This is a Harvest style table, but it's actually newer. I don't know if the brand name is on it or relevant, but it's newer. This is newer, but solid as a rock with a really interesting rustic parquet-ish type top on it. And look at this, there's 3 leaves like this. So you already got this monster table, and now you've got 3 leaves this big. So this thing would grow into going forever. A mantle, wall mirrors like you wouldn't believe. Some of them more aggressive than others. Can't really talk about everything, obviously. But look at these deer, just in time for setting up your front lawn for Christmas. You got 8 reindeer, as it were. These are actually concrete. These are used for outdoors. So they're kind of neat. They're sold 2 at a time. So you can have 2, decorate your place. There's some fawns down here. Cool copper boiler bowl there. There's a dome top trunk you haven't seen. There's quite a nice selection of oil lamps. Kind of came in later. Some hanging, some student lamps. Some are going to be easier to see on camera than others. There's enough Old Country Roses to feed 4 dinners at Christmas. Furniture in there, it's going to be very difficult to get to on camera here on both sides, but definitely some interesting pieces, older and newer. I want to snake into here, because I mentioned the original Alex Halliburton pieces. He was doing the Oilers back in the Oilers' heyday. So again, this is an original. This is not a print, and it's got your coffee and Gretzky. We've heard of Gretzky and McTavish there. And again, it's an original piece. I don't know how big. What is it? 3 feet by 4 feet or something like that. I think we have 4 or 5 or even 6 pieces of his in the sale, and all originals, none of the prints. So really, really neat. Mid-century dining room suite here. This has got the draw leaf table, again, just in time for your Christmas dinner. Again, I mentioned I should be careful over top of the set of dishes, but there's a hanging lamp. You pull it down to light it, etc., etc. Mechanism works. There's 3 of them in the sale, 4 of them in the sale, something like that, plus some other nice pieces. I'll come out this way. It's a pretty busy room, so it's hard to get at everything. Another dining room suite. There's Bobby Orr. That's another Halliburton piece there. There's some terrific prints. The last few sales we've had some unframed prints. And this sale again, we've got, I don't know if there's 20 of them in here, probably 10 or 11 each day, whatever. There's some carpets, not very many, not in the room right now. And if we think about it, we'll pop a still of one that's in the apartment still. A still photo of it in there. And it is, we had the receipt for that one where he paid about $7,500 for it. I think it was on sale. And so we have that coming in on Wednesday, so before the sale. We're shooting before that, and there's a couple other pieces as well. Groups of Hummels. There's Oriental pots there. There's Ladros. This is one clown. You're going to see several of them in the sale, mostly in just the head or the bust, but also some full figure ones like that. There's a watchmaker's lathe down there. This is, I don't know if this is wound up, but this is a cigarette dispenser. We've had these before. In fact, I own one. I can see it from here. It's not wound up though, but it displays open. That's just bad planning on my part. I should have had it wound up. There's some nice art glass. Again, pieces that were significant to buy. A couple of them as well. In behind me here, a little dark in the cabinet, I'm sure, but I mentioned the Ladro clowns. Look at them all. All really neat pieces. I don't know how many there are. There's 8 or 9 or 10 if there's one. The Moorcroft and interesting colors and patterns, stuff that we don't normally see. Same as Wedgwood, same as art glass. There's Steuben glass. There's, list goes on. These are Swarovski, these birds. Those are very impressive pieces. There's a whole selection, and not so much up here, but cruets and perfumes and oil and vinegar bottles that are just really to die for kind of a thing. Just mostly from one person's collection. I'll just sneak through here. Whoops. How's that for good timing? This coffee table, you can imagine, came out of the same house as the 5-foot lamps and the yard deer. So very, very impressive. We have some of the receipts for some of the art glass pieces that were bought. This doesn't have, oh, it does have a date, 1992, and he paid $800 for that one. So have a look at the website for some of this stuff. Don't just discount it, blow by and think it's just another piece of glass, because a lot of them is not just another piece of glass. Look at the student lamp here, the double burner. Absolutely wonderful. I'm not sure if it's adjustable. I'm not going to start doing it on camera and do something silly like I've been known to do. Gramophone here, quarter cut oak gramophone. Over on this side, we better have a look. We don't normally make our way over here. Here's another hanging lamp. We've got quite a nice selection of tools, everything from table saw. There's a water distiller here, which are great. I use one at home. I don't want to sound fancy, but my coffee maker has never had anything but distilled water in it. All kinds of case tools, including a tea drill here with all the accessories. Little selections. There's a rigid vise down here. There's little chainsaws and stuff that look like they've never been used. So it's a nice little selection of tools from one situation. There's a little 3,500 watt generator there. There's a little pressure washer. More old country roses. Corner cabinet over there. Again, we don't normally get through here, so I don't really have a format. There's a Pistoria saw. I actually bought this here. You guys, some of you might remember, I bought it in our own sale some years ago to do. I just don't have time to do the level of framing that I used to do, where you need a double miter saw. But it worked great. 220 volt, and honest to God, it's if I had a larger garage, I would definitely still be keeping it. More frame memorabilia, all kinds of doodads there. In the silver cabinet, there's not a lot of silver, but there's certainly a lot of Wedgwood. And again, some interesting colors, and there is some silver. And if you can see that nifty, I have to show you this thing. This might be my favorite thing in the sale. I'm not sure. Of course, now that I didn't plan for it, the battery's probably dead. See, the headlight works, and the tail light, flashing tail light works. So really, it's a car. And if I turn it on. It only plays old songs though. It's gotta be the coolest thing ever. So that kind of wraps up this room. You've had a bit of a look to it. There's lots of jewelry in the sale. Costume jewelry over there. There's a few pocket watchers. There's costume jewelry down here. There's silver and gold. We've brought a few pieces out to show you, but that's not all of it by any means. There's still lots of gold. This chain up here is gold. There's gold and silver in throughout there. There's turquoise. There's rings, like racks filled with rings down in there. And up on the top here, Jane's made me a couple of little cheat notes to remind me. This one here, absolutely wonderful. And again, we have our appraisals that we stand behind. The appraisal on that one is $16,700. This is a carat of diamond in this bracelet here. This one here, this interesting piece, 1.15 carat is the larger diamond plus a 0.33. That's $16,500. This opal brooch is actually a late listing, so some of you people that have been looking at the website a little bit early won't have seen that one, and that's appraised at $35,000. These are Birks. This one is Birks. These earrings are tanzanite and 14 karat in white, and they're $7,500 on the replacement value. The bracelet is a unisex, and I don't remember what the appraised value is, but not small. It's way up there. And again, that's lot number. Ooh, what are we at? 232. So whenever we don't forget, anyhow, the appraisal is photographed and put on the website as well. Waterford crystal. Most, if not all, of what is on that level is Waterford. Up in here, you've got cruets and clarets and antique Victorian and pre-Victorian jugs that we just never see, and lots of them, all from one collection. You see, that's the only way you get that many all of a sudden, is somebody collects it over years and years and years, and then you get the opportunity to, boom, pick and choose as if it was a department store. So definitely take the time to have a good look at that. Behind me over here is coins. Oh, I want to show you this. Lot number 240. This is a 1967, I think, era aerial photograph of downtown Edmonton. So obviously it's showing what it looked like back then, and then it's hand enhanced to give it some pop in certain areas like flowers and cars and whatnot. And it probably was a office promotional kind of a situation at the time. I'm sure it's long out of their inventory, so I won't get myself into trouble. Property of Western World Communication Corps, Edmonton Broadcasting Company, labeling down there. It's signed by whom I'm assuming is the photographer and illustrator on there. Very neat piece. If you have a nice big office or something similar where you have the right place to show it. On the coin selection, you've got vintage silver, a little bit of vintage paper maybe, I don't remember, and lots of newer silver and gold. So again, have a good look at that. We could spend all day talking about those as well. On the smalls tables, one of everything. Kind of a fun sale again, a little bit of everything. Limoges, vintage fishing rods, typewriter. This is a neat piece. Let's actually pop the top off that and hide it in behind for the ship's compass in a original casing there. And it's all nicely gimbaled up. Some toys, some vintage books and so on. Some signal lanterns, very fun stuff to have. I have one up top there where you should have plugged in. Drums, travel case, call box. Some people are just right into the retro stuff, so there's some chalet or chalet style glass there. This one here we might move, so if you're looking for it come sale day, it might not be in the same spot. These are a couple of watchmakers burners, so this is the sort of one we see all the time. This one hangs over a ledge, so it's up above you, and it's very, very heavily weighted at the back, so when it's sitting there, it's not delicate, and you'd have your burner there to do your work with. This bell here, if that doesn't sound like the starting of a vintage boxing match, nothing does. This piece here, again, this is for seating crystals on pocket watches. There's actually people out there that could really use that, and I need to make sure they all know it's here. These are the dies for it. So up this side, again, more neat stuff, everything from armadillo, and this is a turtle shell, I think, that is, I mean, you have to have one of those. There's a ship's, the old pirate telescope, a couple of propellers there, brass. There's, again, there's everything. There's a whole other row over there that we won't get into. Taxidermy, and I know that there's clocks and there's all sorts of stuff. I don't want to miss out on the fact that we've got, from the same place that the tools came from, there's a snowblower. Christmas is right around the corner. There's a pull behind aerator and blade and a sprayer that was used on this John Deere tractor. So this is a GT262 John Deere. It's got a Kawasaki. I think I saw 17 horse on it there somewhere. Yeah, 17 horsepower K-Series. Looks like it was obviously extremely well taken care of. And in addition to this, what is not going to be on the video, but we'll throw some stills on, is a van outside in the front of the building that was actually in the September sale. And the gentleman who bought it did not pay for it, so with a bit of luck we'll get his security image off the cameras and actually put that on the website for you to see. And it was funny, we were warned that night after the bidding from one of our regular clients that this gentleman had been bidding all over town and not paying for stuff. So anyhow, not the end of the world, it happens in this business. And there's also a Jeep that this gentleman here had bought as a bit of a winter beater. And I think there's some good tires on it, and it runs. We drove it in from an acreage out of town. Definitely is going to need a battery, so we'll boost it to show you it running during the viewing at the sale. Those are going to sell on Sunday, just so that we have a little bit of daylight when it happens. So have a look on the website for those. Those are on the Sunday. So again, just to recap, the sale is Sunday the 27th of November, starting at 11 a.m., Monday the 28th from 6 p.m. Preview is Friday, November 25th from 4 until 8. That's at 11802 145th Street, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And it is Ward's Auctions. The website is wardsauctions.com. We'll put that in the description below. My name is Brad Ward, and on behalf of the whole team at Ward's Auctions, friends and family, we thank you for what's been a pretty good year. And we're not quite finished yet, so hopefully you'll come out and help us wrap up the year and say hi, and don't forget to bring me presents. You can reach us at 780-451-4549. That is the office number. If you need to reach me directly, 780-459-8378. No, that's not even close. 940-8378. 940-8378. You'd think I'd remember that. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the sale.